Hello to everyone listening on Spotify and watching on YouTube. We've got another episode of Behind the Broker today, which delves into the partnerships and the products, all of the ancillary people around brokers to kind of make their life easier. And on that note today, we've got Dan Hobbs from New Leaf. So thanks for joining us today, Dan.
Hello, how are you doing? You okay, Marcus?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you. Really good. You okay?
Yeah. Thanks for having me on with you today.
No problem at all. Let's kick off with. Talk to me about the New Leaf journey to what you are today. That'd be good.
Yeah, so we're a family business, started 25 years ago, more or less now, and started out as CeMAP trainers back in the day. Lots of qualification training we were doing especially around the mortgage regulation when it came in 2004, especially. And basically through sort of a process of people just asking us the question, what do we do next? It used to be, we'll go and join a bank. Get a job somewhere.
Get a good job in a bank. They don't get that anymore, do you?
And then enough people ask the question, you think, hang on, there must be a self-employed route here for people. And at that same time, a network was just about becoming a thing. So there's a couple of networks at the time that were just set up. This is post-FSA regulation when they took the mortgage regulation on. Yeah. So we set a network up into early 2005 and never looked back. And since then, built it up to full investment permissions, commercial finance permissions, and also obviously mortgage and protection, and just maintaining that sort of training culture the whole way through. So we still, to this day, train CeMAP do CeMAP training for people and help people get into the industry.
Oh, amazing. And you know, that's the main thing that we wanted to cover when we talked, and I said I'd love to have you on. It's about what you do for the new blood into the industry, because I think that's really important. I think it's a great USP. So talk to me about that. Tell me about how people just getting their CeMAP, or people maybe 6 months in, not happy where they are. What benefits do you give to those people?
Well, I think that I don't want to say that it's a good thing, but I think we're the originals, right, at this. So we sort of have a good reputation for bringing new people in. And I know a lot of other firms try and do it and struggle with it. And a lot of other firms say to new people now, especially, we just can't deal with you. And
why do you think that is? Why do you think? What's the difference?
I don't know what. I don't think it's anything against those firms. I think that every firm's got their own objectives, and it's a lot of work involved in bringing a new person in. And you've got to satisfy your shareholders, and you need some quick wins. You need profit straight away. Let's be fair. New people might not be the best route for you if that's what you're going for. And there's a lot of firms out there that are owned. They're not independent. They're shareholder driven. They've got to make returns. And I just think, where we can be a bit more patient because we're privately owned and we haven't got that sort of oversight to worry about, we can be more patient, we can work with advisors, and we can put advisors first and take our time. And that's what we've just done for the years. Being the first to do it, we sort of continue that journey through to now. And don't get me wrong, it's tough. It's really tough. And new people come into the market, it's really hard to be a new advisor as well. I'm not going to lie and say to you.
It's really nice, actually, that you don't sugarcoat it. And we talked about this before, because there's too many that go, come to us, 6-figure salary from tomorrow. All you got to do is post on Facebook, bada-ding. And it's not like that. And you're realist about it as well. I like that.
I am. And we only take on 5 new entrants every 2 months anyway. So we're not. So I'm not saying we have like 1 million new people coming in. We're careful because it's hard work, right? You got to work with these people really closely and really push them. But that being said, anyone can take the horse to water, but it's that extra bit. You need to find the right person. You got to be that sort of that grit you got about you to do it. And
why do you think we get so many people that come in, fall back out straight away? Do you think it's
I think there's a lot. I think there's some bit of social media stuff. I think a lot of people think that it could be a side hustle. This job. Yeah. It's really not. And all your brokers who listen to this will know that, right? So inexperienced broker will know this is not a side hustle role. You can't. And when I had talked to somebody and say, "Oh yeah, I've got got a full-time job. I want to do this in the evenings." I'm like, dude, chill out. You don't know. You can't do it in the evenings. You're gonna burn yourself out. Well, for one thing, you can't. You need time to yourself. You need to chill out. You need to have some time off work. But also, clients don't care what time of day it is, and if you're not available because you've got another job, that's going to kill your reputation.
You're covering the day, it'd be fine. Yeah,
your rep's gone. If they find out you're driving the trains in London Underground or you're doing something else, well, that's your rep gone. So that's it. Yeah. So it just wrecks the whole situation for the broker. So you got to be in it full time, and that's the other part of it is then you need to be resourced. So if you're a new advisor coming to the industry, you've got to be financially resourced for this. We talk about typically 6 months financial backing, but I'll be honest with you, you need to figure 18 months in.
Yeah.
Really.
Do you know what? Again, that's refreshing because there's so many guys who go, it's fine, I've got 3 months money in the bank. So-and-so's told me, we'll join their network, they'll show me what to do. And, everyone waxes lyrical about, we'll help you with your marketing, we'll help you with your business plan, that kind of thing. But talk me through the process that you go through with new brokers, because it is completely different from someone who's been doing it a while, So I think that is important.
Yeah, well, so we try and assist them as much as we can. So what we try and do is take away a lot of the roles that can sort of blindside you or can take you away from just doing what you need to do as a new broker, which is giving advice and seeing clients. So we take away the admin functions from them. We take away marketing functions. We don't set up ARs with new people. They have to prove themselves. So for that reason, they go into an academy. They go through that process of joining our own firm that we manage. And then we take care of them from the marketing side. We take care of them on the admin side. We work.
And just to be clear, these are still working from home, academy, like self-employed people, so they still have to have that.
Yeah, they're still employed. They're building their own business. The clients they're bringing in are theirs. If we get clients for them, they're theirs. We don't own anything, obviously, in that sense. And then we go through a process whereby after 9 months, we'll have an AR meeting with them and say, right, have you hit the sort of minimum requirements to be an AR with New Leaf?
Yeah. Because just quickly, there. Sorry to interrupt. Are you kind of? Do you have to be kind of brutally honest with people when they go, "We're ready," and you're like, "Well, you're not covering your money yet," or can you see potentially people if they haven't made any money yet? Is there?
Well, we wouldn't. The minimum requirements are there, so they haven't sort of hit those targets. Then we just have to continue them as they are. So they don't have to be equally. They can sit. With
you really stringent with that? Is it like they're here for a reason?
Yeah, I mean, look our network size. I mean, we're 25 years in. We could have thousands of advisors we wanted to.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
To be fair.
You see that, don't you? You see thousands of brokers, one-man bands with these networks who are just making a couple of £100.
It could. Yeah, and I don't want to. Again, people on their journeys, right? So you get people who start; they take a while to get going. Fair enough, but we don't have a network with 2,000-3,000 people do nothing. And I prefer to have 300 Ferraris in our business, in our network, and that's how we work. We work towards that. So our income per advisor is over 6 figures. Yeah. So we've got a really strong performing group. Our new advisor group is obviously very selective, but we put a lot of effort into them. And if they make it past that initial 18 months, they will get 6 figures quite easily, to be honest with you.
And you sell that it's an easy thing to sell because you've got the proof. You guys, obviously, I know some of the more experienced advisors, and they are.
I think the key thing. I think the key thing, Marcus, is we've got time for it though. I think a lot of other places, again, they just haven't got, because they're corporate. They might do something for 3 months and it's like a flash in the pan, doesn't work right. Next thing.
And I do get that as well. Like you say, like you've been doing it a long time. It'd be very tough to start. We're going to do a new academy. I see so many academies come and go.
Oh yeah,
because it's expensive and it costs. And everyone wants results tomorrow, and
it's all about the fees as well. So the problem is a lot of these academies aren't actually about building an academy. It's about charging 10 grand up, 3 to 5 grand up front. They make money from the people doing the academy, and then they don't make it. They've made a lot of money.
Yours is much more long term in regards to we know we're going to lose people front end. Organically, but we will. The ones that get through will be better. That's kind of
definitely. I mean, I'm not saying that we're 100% successful because we're not. No. It's really not at all. It's tough.
I genuinely, I like your honesty about it because when we were talking, like you have to tell people like not everyone is cut out for it, and
I'm really
everyone can try it because it's a very low entry level to get into this industry of CeMAP.
The barrier is there, but it's CeMAP is relatively straightforward. To be fair. But you're right. Yeah, you need to be honest with people. I talk to a lot of people who want to join and become advisors, and I say to them, look, I'm not here to say you can or can't do it, but I will help you get in the industry, whatever it looks like. If it's with us or someone else, I'm not precious about you have to join New Leaf.
That makes sense. So, what do you see with new brokers at the moment? Because we do get quite a lot of new and kind of year in, couple of years in, even brokers that listen to this, because obviously they are. Yeah. They're like the children of the industry, if you like, 2 to 7 year olds where you're just soaking up every bit of information. So what do you see in your successful brokers that have been all the way through your process? What do you see characteristic wise, and what do they look like? Is it very obvious they all have the similar traits, or is it a bit different?
They're very good networkers. So the ones who really get out there and be successful, the ones that aren't afraid to talk to introducers, aren't afraid to get out there to networking groups. They're not waiting for the phone to ring, not relying on social media to do anything. They go-getters, right? So that's pretty standard in any sales role, isn't it? Really, You talk to enough people, you keep talking, and you pick people, you pick clients up. And even now, I mean, it's actually getting it's getting a little bit easier because of the markets. Mortgage brokers are like rock stars these days. They're one of our newbies.
Well, a mortgage broker, do you?
Yeah, like mortgage brokers for like a year or so ago, it was like, oh, not another mortgage broker. Great, who cares? Rates are 1%. I can go any lender. I don't need you. But now, well, you go to a party, go to your friend's birthday party or something, and then you say I'm a mortgage broker. They go, oh, I'll take your cards.
I know you just touched on then about networking. Would you not consider, because you said you can't just rely on social media?
Yeah.
Let's kind of delve into that, because you obviously help people with their social media and their marketing and that kind of thing. How does that? Because I consider that a type of networking.
Oh, massively, yeah.
Talk to me about the importance of that and how that's kind of developed.
It's a shop window, isn't it? At the end of the day, you need people now. You might not get a direct lead from a LinkedIn post or from a Facebook post, but it's not about the lead directly. It's about the fact that people are checking you out without you realizing it. And I think that's the thing that people overlook. So then, if you start doing social media as a broker and you see, oh, no one's talking to me, I'm not getting any likes. It doesn't really matter. It's about if you do see a client, they're going to check you out.
Yeah.
And if they see nothing,
we have that conversation. It's similar in our industry.
Yeah.
We don't always get good engagement, and it's not about that, because there's one person might have seen it that resonates with, and then the person that uses you later. It's interesting, isn't it? Because everyone is about how many likes you get, how much engagement you get, how many impressions there are on. But social media is very much a patience thing as well. Much like any marketing. No marketing you start straight away and you make money from. Maybe buying leads. That's probably the only one that you can. And even that, you've got to have deep pockets.
No, and you can do things like the vouch for unbiased. These I think from a new person perspective, especially, it's definitely worth getting one of those. Yeah. But even that is then like that links into your website, to your LinkedIn profile. So even those platforms, you might not get direct leads from them, but they're using it as a way to find you in other platforms as well and to see what you like.
Yeah.
I can't sort of stress that how important it is to have a shop window. Yeah. But that being said,
getting out and getting to see. What would you say was more important if you had to pick one? If you had to get out in front of people, shake hands, or get on social media, do you think there's a more relevant one, or do you think they're hand in hand?
What it seems like business cards. What you
Just getting out a business card or getting out in front of people. The only reason is I can't get 10,000 business cards out in a day, but I can 100% say something that resonates.
LinkedIn's definitely the new business card, right? It has to be LinkedIn for me. Like I have this argument with people all the time. Like, they're like, "Oh, do you get a business card?" So I was like, "Why? Don't worry about your business card so much. Get your LinkedIn profile done."
We don't have business cards anymore, and I only ever feel uncomfortable with it when someone hands me theirs.
Yeah, well, I never use them. No, these get lost. But it was funny that the other day someone actually came up to me and said, "Is this you?" And my profile, my face from LinkedIn. I was like, "That is me." That's the first time.
Because they saw your business card. No one has their face on the business card, do they? So you go, like, "Where's that? I've got business cards on my desk here. No. I've got no idea who these people are." But I've met them at a trade show or something.
Exactly. But yeah, new people. That's a great way for us, to get a new person visible. I think in our industry as well, it's quite easy. So you can almost appear or look more experienced very quickly because of doing simple posting.
It's important. You've got to add value, haven't you? You can't just be posting.
Yeah, and you got to be careful. So what we do at Newly, if we take care of that for the new guys, we do a lot of posts for them, and then they can rebadge it themselves. So repurpose it, reuse it.
And you clearly aren't one of those networks who are very stringent on their social media. The guys that you need like 2 or 3 days sign off for social media. It doesn't make sense to me because it's been and gone. Social media is so reactive. Yeah. But with new people, I suppose that's their bit of their superpower. They can jump on stuff straight away. I'm assuming that's.
Yeah, we're really quick with turnaround on that. Yeah, within a day. But most of the stuff is allowed through anyway because of our guidelines they can stick to. Yeah. So it's quite easy, really.
Is it like a trust thing? Because I know some people don't trust any of their brokers to do any social media. Do you just have to trust them, or is there still a level of responsibility that you have to?
Yeah, there's a bit of trust, but we do have to be wary of financial promotion rules are there and haven't changed much.
People know. I mean, that is one thing you will pick up from CeMAP is the financial promotion rules.
I know. Yeah, non-real time, real time is great. The times you can cold call a client these days, like I don't know anyone who cold calls anymore. But anyway, you've got to learn it. But we got to be realistic. Some stuff people post is what would be deemed as a real-time promotion, might need sign-off, but you've got to think about, is it a call to action? What is this person doing? Is it signposting a product? Is it, is it going a bit deeper? So we have guidance for the guys, and a lot of it is sounds their gut. If they think it might need signed off, then we just say, we'll send it in.
Yeah. So
it's not going to harm.
let's go through the hardest thing I think for new brokers, leads. How do your guys, or how do you train your guys up to work it, or what else do they need to know, or new brokers at the moment, what do they need to know because you're in that sink or swim 12 months and you have to drum up business. So what do you kind of advise for those guys?
Yeah, if someone comes to me and they said, they say, oh, I don't know anyone, I haven't got any bad plan. I said, well, why are you doing this? Just introduce.
What was your initial thought?
Introduce them, prove you can do it by introducing. I can partner you with one of our firms, and you go that way instead. But yeah, the ones who really do well are the ones who thought it through. They've already got an accountant lined up. They've got estate agencies lined up. So it might be they know someone, friends, family members. So they've already got that sort of lead source in the background.
Out of interest, do you show people? Because obviously, if I'm a new mortgage broker, I haven't got a clue how to go into an estate agent and say, give me a leads. Is that something you can try and teach people, or do you think that's it's got to be something they run with, or is that something you can help them with?
Yeah, we do. We have our BDM that works with all the new advisors, and a lot of his role is about helping them with networking and going for introducers.
Right. For me, I think for networking, I'm B2B. I'm in a niche. It's very unlikely I'm going to bump into a high net worth mortgage brokerage or someone that knows one within those 20 people having coffee. But everyone's got a mortgage, haven't they?
Yeah.
Everyone's got a mortgage. Everyone's got insurance. Everyone needs that thing. Yeah. I just think B2C.
Yeah.
The people that if you can handle that 6 o'clock in the morning crappy bacon sandwich and coffee in one of those networking meetings, you're going to make money, aren't you?
And then some of our guys create their own groups now. I mean, it's amazing.
Really?
One of our ARs recently just created a networking group in their area. So
wow.
If you can be in control of it, even better.
Yeah, God, because imagine the authority you've got then.
Well, yeah, there's no other mortgage broker getting that networking group, is there?
Yeah, unfortunately, you were declined.
Sorry, that spot's already filled.
But yeah, I mean, the important thing about those is obviously you're the only one, potentially the only one or two or something like that in there. So, and you can really add value to those groups because it's really you get to know people, don't you?
Yeah, and if you can go with an offer which covers a really wide range of products as well, then that makes a big difference. And this is a thing with us, we're quite unique because we offer not just whole market mortgages, but also we can do full specialist commercial. No packages required. We go direct to all lenders, so we are a commercial network as well.
Am I right in saying are you one of the only, or the only that offer that whole?
We're the only network in the UK that can offer you IFA permission, commercial finance permissions, mortgage and protection. So no one can offer all of them. And that's a big thing for us. So we do, as a result of that, people will stay because there's no reason to leave us for permission reasons. And the big reason why people join us is because they haven't got permissions elsewhere. Yeah. And they don't like
if they suddenly have a little niche in like a specialist lending and that kind of thing.
Yeah, they don't like you going to the expert. They force you as an expert broker. They lose half their fees. They don't like that. They know where it's going to go anyway. They know they're not, the mortgage brokers understand which lenders to use, but then it taxes them because they're told, well, you have to use an expert broker. That's absolute bull.
I think there's a double-edged sword there as well, because you also don't want someone messing around. You've got to have a good knowledge of stuff as well, though.
Yeah, we've got a really good commercial desk. Because the thing, I know why other networks don't do it, because there's no research tools. Yeah. And they have 3,000 people, and you can't they can't control it. From compliance, they have no oversight, and that's why the benefit of us keeping things small again is we can be really close, and we have our commercial desk. We can work really close to the firms.
When you say research tools, I mean there are some out there now, aren't there? They're getting better. There are some better commercial stuff coming out.
Yeah, there's some good stuff. Yeah, but you're not going to pick up the latest deals in 27 Tech or Mortgage Brain.
It's what is it? 200 odd bridging lenders. You can't.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny with bridging and specialists about how you treat the customer fairly, because. Yeah. Without the comparison tool, there is actually one coming out from someone else. I don't know I'll talk about it yet, but it's really good, and that was actually born from how can we justify treating the customer fairly, even though we're not regulated. Yeah, you still have to. You can still hand on heart say that's the best deal for you, because you can't speak to 200 brokers. There's no.
I think that is good, because a lot of lenders, I think they get sort of chuck stuff at them and they hope it goes in, and because no regulation.
Yeah, and also you kind of, as much as you shouldn't, it's the BDM that picks up the phone. Yeah, someone that gets the terms over the quickest, that kind of thing. Which I know it's not regulated to the treating the customer fairly, but as a broker, you expect to do that, to give them the best deal. We train the guys to package the cases properly as if it's a regulated case. So I think the lenders quite like our stuff because it always is ready to go, and they got a good chance of accepting it. But the reason I speak about that is because going back to the new advisors again,
you could be a newbie and you could be at one of those networking events, especially the business ones. And commercial finance is so important to have that permission, because that's the sort of stuff really that interests the people you're talking to.
Yeah, they get it. And obviously, you don't have to sell them a product right there and then, do you? If you've got a commercial desk, they can help you.
We help in all the cases with them. Yes, so we can work through for the cases on that.
So how is the setup with that as well? So if you're a new broker and you've got they don't know the market or anything yet, is that all kind of included?
We do induction training with the guys. Then there's weekly webinars with commercial lenders coming in with us. Mark, our principal New Leaf here. He's the commercial desk as well, so he's really, really good at helping you place cases. So
and is that just like a pick up the phone? Look, I've got this guy. And they'll literally go, "This is bang, bang, bang. That's what you got to ask."
We're really close to literally. We try and make it at the network level here. We're really accessible, and there's like a flat hierarchy, so we have no.
Like you said behind you about knowing your name. Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think that's really important? Because you do. I've got a bit of a bugbear about the. I'm not going to name names. The networks that just take on hundreds of these new guys and they're left to rot. Maybe they're back in estate agents and no one knows who they are, and they hate mortgage broking and they think they hate it. And I speak to so many.
Yeah.
When I say you don't hate mortgage advising because you're not doing it, you actually hate being stuck at the back of someone with no help, no support. So I do. It's a difficult. So knowing their name and that kind of thing is, as much as it's a strapline for you, it is genuinely important, isn't it, for new people? Massively,
yeah. No, network knows your name is our tagline, one of our taglines, but it is showcasing the fact that look, we're not going to just like farm you off to some regional BDM somewhere in our network who's then going to see you once a year and not care about you or know who you are, and then cut you loose. These guys, we know them, all of them. We know them really well. They're friends. Our culture here is very collaborative, very sort of, it's business focused, but it's very client focused as well. I think we look to serve the advisor, right? So we really believe in customer service to our advisors.
Hopefully that knocks onto them.
It knocks onto them, because we see our client is the advisor. And if an advisor says to me, Dan, I want to leave New Leaf. We're not going to be toxic about it. We're not going to tie them into crazy tie-ins.
It's awful horror stories like that.
It seems like that,
I'm not going to give you a. They're not going to sign you off to someone else. You think, why?
It's like you're not employing these people. You know what I mean? It's like these other networks. Sometimes they got to be careful because you end up just keeping people for the sake of it. It's toxic. Why would you want to work together with someone that will work with you?
I know people looking to leave other networks who will say, "I will not put another penny through the business until we've left them." But what's the point in that?
No, I mean we just don't. We don't get because we're advisor first. We really focus on them. We don't have that. And I always compare like, are we shareholder first or advisor first? And we, shareholders to us, where it's just me and Dad, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not important. It's unimportant, right? So we're advisor first. That's why we can do all these new people and help them and put time into them. But there's a couple of things people should know about joint networks. I think it's important to talk about as well, Mark, if that's okay. Like features of a network that I think are important. And definitely, like if they're considering New Leaf or anyone else, it's worth thinking about these sort of 6 principles. So the first thing is ownership. Is making sure you understand the ownership of the network is really important. Now, I'm not here to say that we're being privately owned is better or worse than someone being. I know we joked about.
No, you've got to take it into account.
But there's obviously benefits of both options, and making sure you understand the ownership is important, because if they're looking to build, if it's a new network, especially as well, are they building it? What's the point? Are they building quickly? These guys, I'm a little bit wary of the networks that build very rapidly, very quickly, and what's the ulterior motive here? Because
those guys building very rapidly, very quickly, you can not 100% guarantee, but you pretty much know that they are charging relatively decent whack up front, and they're getting, they're covering their money somehow, aren't they? And it's not.
Well, it's just that, but also are they thinking, is the advisor a commodity here for a future sale?
Yeah.
Now networks, right? Networks don't own anything. Let's be clear here. Network, we're a service company. We provide compliance. At the very bare bones of it, it's a compliance network. It's pretty basic, right? There's this sort of unambiguous view in industry where networks suddenly own the people there with them, but they're not. They choose to be with you, right? They can leave. They should be able to leave. So I don't understand how that can be sold. But it is, and people then will monetize. They monetize the ARs, right? Which is, I think, is a bit. You got to be careful. So when you're looking at joining a network, be wary of what is the plan, because if you're going to be sold off at some point, What does that mean for your restrictions in the future as well? What does that mean for what products you can offer? Does that mean that's loaded premiums, for example, and protection? Does that mean clients are going to get paying more money for the same product you can do with a whole market network instead? Okay, so that's important. Second thing is longevity in industry as well. We just talk about new up and coming ones. Fair enough, they're going to be really good networks that can be created, and it's great for competition. And I love working with networks as well, to be honest, because we
also, I mean, there are perks to those ones that are looking that are hungry, aren't they?
Yeah, you need it. You need these new ones coming in. It keeps you going as well. It keeps you thinking about what the product looks like for us. But longevity is important because if you give a network that's been there, done it, and they've got that longevity in the industry, they've got very good reputation with lenders, no FCA enforcement issues, no PI issues. These are things you should look at because that goes a long way for looking forward as well, especially networks that were here before the crash in 2008. Now, there's only a handful of us left.
Yeah.
Not many, and I think it's only us who are private. So, no, don't quote me on that. I might be wrong.
No,
but
I'll check that.
There's not many of us left, right? There's only a handful that can say that we're here from before then. Most others have sold out, phoenixed, whatever. Next thing is training. So networks need to offer very good training, especially to new people. So what does that look like? Is it academic routes? Is there CPD, regular CPD each week? Do they do workshops? Is it webinars? And I'd guess most networks now are pretty good at training now because COVID forced them to be.
I think you'd be surprised.
Yeah, but yeah, what does that look like? Because again, that's part of your being a customer of the network. You should be, be able to sort of get that content back as well. Then you got permissions. So I've got a lot of people call me and go, you know what? I joined this network. I didn't know about you guys. Didn't see you guys. I joined this network then, and I can't do half the stuff they told me I can do. And I say, well, why is that?
How does that come about? Because surely at the beginning you have a conversation with someone about what you can do, what you're allowed to do.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of smokes and mirrors going on. I think especially the ones that you say, but people in their first 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, maybe you don't know what you don't know.
You play on ignorance, I think.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So you got some networks or some places, some big DA firms might promise certain products, but what actually they didn't tell you was that's through their commercial arm. It's through their activity specialist. So you're not really doing it, you're just introducing it. That's not very clear. So knowing your permissions is vitally important because if you choose the wrong network that can't develop you the way you want, then you have to leave them. And let's be fair, switching networks is difficult. It's not great.
It's just an added headache you don't need when you're trying to build a business, market yourself, sell mortgages.
I shouldn't say that because I have very happy people who join us, obviously, the right firm for our networks.
I'm sure you make it as smooth as possible, but at the same time, it's an added thing that you have to deal with. So
it is, it is. And the other one is culture. Culture is really important. I think you got to look at the people you're working with in that network and what are they going to be like with you, how they're going to work with you. It's not just about business. It's actually, can I be friends with these people? Can we go down the pub together, have a beer?
So how do you? Because this is actually interesting for people who are building a business, not just network wise, but how do you build a culture when not everyone is in the same place? Well, I think I know, but I just from your point, how do you get that? How do you make sure you maintain a culture, especially as you grow? And I know you're not growing massively, but how do you do that?
So regular touch points are really important. So being consistent in your training and development programs. So if you stick to something, do it consistently. So if you set up a new training session you want to start, that's going to be every Monday or every Tuesday or every once a month. You do it all the time. Making sure that you bring your people together and help them collaborate is really important as well. So part of culture is people, right? Getting in a room, saying hi, having some social time, not just about work, and building that spirit together. I think COVID made things a bit difficult because you couldn't do that, and we stopped seeing people. It's hard.
It was really easy to stay in that rut as well. It's a little bit like recruiters who don't go out and see their clients. Because it's really everyone made money in COVID, so you knew you could do it. But there's nothing better than getting out and seeing people as well.
And I think this is some firms they might want to keep their members apart as well. And the reason why
is that just because they don't want people. Well, the ones that are going to moan about it, they don't want everyone.
No, so there's maybe that is because they know there's negative press out there, and they don't want internal people mixing and talking because a couple of bad voices can.
If you do that, you've got to back up your own bullshit, haven't you? Because you are saying. We're great. Everyone that works with us thinks we are. Here's everyone else.
Yeah.
So you've got to cover yourself, haven't you? So if anything, it makes you work harder.
But I think the other problem is a lot of firms have different deals and things. So there's like legacy deals and different deals.
Yeah,
you have a guy who's been with you for 10 years who's never asked for a better deal, and then you don't give him it, and then a new person comes in, they get like 10% more or whatever, and they're doing like 50 grand less than you are, and then that sort of stuff mixes up, and that can really affect your mood if you're a member of that firm. So it's really important.
And you obviously don't do that, otherwise you wouldn't be saying how bad it is, right?
No, everyone's on the same playing. Yeah, we have a level playing field for experience and not experience. It doesn't make a difference to us, so that's really important. But yeah, bringing people together is so good. And don't let them. Don't keep trying these walls up. Get your members talking, sharing ideas, collaborating. We absolutely love doing that.
I think that's really important actually, because your network. I know your network is your net worth, etc. But your actual network, you don't get to spend time with 300 of other brokers who have the same problems as you, and everyone's quite insular in their own little business, aren't they? If you're 1, 2, 3 man band, we're very blessed that we get to speak to lots of businesses because that's what we do in recruitment. But actually, most businesses don't get that opportunity, do they? So it's important with your network that you do collaborate with people and you do find out what went wrong, what went right, and how do you do that. And just puts your streets ahead, especially with new guys. I think that's really important. They've got so much to soak up. Yeah. And in regards to the new guys, do you try and get them to get together more? Do you think that's important because they've got to? They're learning kind of. Do you see the learning scale go up with the collaboration? Yeah,
each intake's like a mini little group, so they tend to sort of support each other. We get them, get them talking together, get them sharing ideas, WhatsApp groups, all sorts of things, and then they'll come on that journey for that first sort of 9 months to 18 months. They'll be on that journey together, hopefully pushing each other as well. So do you find actually, maybe this isn't one for a podcast, so you can tell me if I cut it, but do you find that if you've got a group and there's a couple of good, will the group push the group through? So if some struggle, they all struggle. If you get a good group and they fly, do you think you see that from the beginning? Yeah, definitely. And as well, like our last intake was fantastic. Like we all said afterwards, like that group is a special group we just had. Yeah. How nice to be part of that though, when you see that and you go, every one of those is going to do it. Yeah. Oh yeah, no doubt about it. The last group we had was so good. Everyone's going to make it, like no problems at all. It's just a special group. But you get lucky like that sometimes, obviously. But as the first time in a while, we said, "Wow, that's a strong group." But we're getting quality people. Like it's just because they're new doesn't mean they're not. These are quality. Yeah. Quality there's amazing new brokers. They're just they're not making money yet. They just need to get. No, they need that, and that extra boost from your peers can help. Competition is always healthy as well. I think pushing each other. So you need a bit of that. That is really useful. If you could give one bit of advice to new brokers, I've kept you for longer than I said I would, but I genuinely appreciate it, and I do think this is really important because I think the one thing people can take from this is that like your network works for you as well. People are very much, my network says this, my network says that, and that you don't have to stand with that. You want your network to work for you. You've got to look at all the things you discussed then, and especially as a new broker, because you might be dazzled by the bright lights of some of the bigger brokers because this is how many people we've got. Well, actually, it's irrelevant, isn't it? It's about what they can do for you as an individual. Yeah, exactly. Ask what is the average earning per advisor. These are the sort of things that are important to know. Because if you got 3,000 advisors and the average earnings is 20 grand a year. Yeah. Brilliant. That's the truth. It's the truth. You've got to be careful. Let that be the final thing. If you could speak to new brokers now and say these are the questions you need to ask. What would be the most important thing for you to help them kind of make decisions on their career? I would say don't just ask about the induction training. What's that first year look like? Yeah. What's that first 2 years look like? How are you going to develop me for the next 5 years? Where are we going with this? What's the exit in 40 years time? Yeah. Because think long term. Yeah, because I know this is where you got to think about investments as well. Yeah, I know we're mortgages related here, but you got to think about this. I'm building my own firm here, my own business that I want to be proud of, that my family can be proud of, that I want to really build and be ambitious with. Then you do need to think about the future when you start, I think. And the only way to make value, build actual value in this industry, is to be an IFA. As in a tangible selling. Yeah. That can be sold at some point, and you can have a nice retirement plan then, or pass it on, whatever you want to do. Yeah. So I know that's a bit of a curveball at the end. No, but it's interesting because it's something. But I think the main thing of that is whether they go IFA route or not is think long term. We do the same when we're
when we're speaking to new people in discovery calls as business owners.
Yeah.
Don't tell me what you want next week. Tell me where your business looks in 10 years, and that
But we'll do business planning with the guys. This is part of the onboarding. Making sure they're ready, and we can help them do that. If anyone's interested, I do a webinar every month called a Change Event where I talk about these challenges new brokers face, and we talk about the advisor journey and give people information.
Does anyone listening want to get hold of you? How do they get hold of you? Obviously, all your socials will be on all of our on our LinkedIn and our Spotify, our YouTube, etc. But how do people get hold of you for that webinar and that kind of thing?
Yeah, so just go to our website, which is newleafdistribution.co.uk. The webinar is on the front page. Just scroll down, you'll see it. You can register. It's once a month. And then for anyone
there's no like, they're not tied to you. Then they can be at a network and they still just get your advice. Yeah, because I'm a big believer in whether you're with someone or not, is to soak up their knowledge.
Yeah, we just talk about what permissions people have, what the journey looks like. We talk about qualification requirements as well, because a lot of people might not have even started CeMAP yet, so it's just getting that through. And we also run a CeMAP forum as well, so if anyone, we can help you, help you CeMAP. I do revision classes every week, so if you are currently on the journey and want a bit of help and support, we do free classes every Wednesday lunchtime as well. So you can join our study group, and there's about 600 people on that who are all helping each other through currently through CeMAP.
Oh, good. That's genuinely useful as well. I hope new brokers, and old to be fair, and even some networks take some heat from some of the stuff we talked about. But that's really useful, Dan, as I said, and all your information is going to be on our socials. So everyone listening on Spotify and watching on YouTube, really appreciate your time today, Dan, and I will catch up with you soon.
Thanks, Marcus. Thanks, everyone, for listening, and see you soon, guys. Bye-bye.